In this video, we're going to show you what's currently going on right now at the site of the Champlain Towers South condo collapse in Surfside, Florida. We're showing you what's happening today because all of those videos that NIST has given us up until now, they don't really show too much, not a whole lot of detail. So today we're showing you exactly what is happening right now. Let's take a look. So here's what it currently looks like right now down on the street level at the site. So everything's blocked off, but they are still allowing one lane of traffic to go north here on Collins Avenue. And here is the site all roped off now, fenced off. They still have all the cones and everything around it. So here we take our first drive right in front of the site along Collins Avenue since they reopened it just days ago. So here you can see that only the left lane is open. The other two lanes are unsafe due to the danger of the wall collapsing. I'm the only person that has this. Nobody has ever showed this right here. So here, as you can see, we have a hole in the fence, and so we're looking down here and they're still pumping water out of this site. Now it rains a lot, so it's making it hard really for us to determine, is water coming up from underneath, or is this just the rainwater that's causing all of this flooding here? So that's what I've not been able to get an answer from anybody on. But here, let's take a look inside. So they're telling us right now this whole area is keep out. It's unsafe because it's not stable. They tell us we have to walk across the street over there to be on the opposite side because they have to shore up the wall that's here. It's just not safe enough. But you can see there's all of the columns are still there that we can tell just sticking up out of the bottom there. The rebar is sticking up. So this right here is the ramp that goes down into the garage. And if you look at the very bottom of this ramp, you see where it says F? I think that's an S. That's the column number 14 for space number 14. Okay. Okay, yeah, there. So, and then the one to the right of it is on the other side of the ramp, right there. Now, if you look over it, over its shoulder there in the background, that right there, folks, is that giant H-beam that sort of fell down and landed straight. Now, they're bringing in more cones today. They got the police department here is bringing in more green cones, and I don't know what they're doing with that. Okay. What you're seeing right here, this is what's left of the vestibule where the elevator shaft was here. So you would come down the elevator shaft, exit out the vestibule, and go to your car in the garage. And so, I mean, other than that, the site has been picked clean. And I still don't know why they haven't removed that H-beam. Why was everything else pulled out of here, but that beam was still left sitting here? So that's an interesting question that needs an answer. Okay, so now we want to stop here for a second. I want to show you what's actually happening. Here's the bottom of the east side of the ramp right here. This is space number 14, known as column 8, M8. And then over here on the west side of the bottom of the ramp is the other column here for space number 88, and this is known as column L8. Now, if I look here, I mean, this does look like there's a lot of rebar crowding at the bottom, which is kind of interesting. So, hey, you folks, let me know if you think there's too much crowding into that column. Now, it looks to me like the NIST folks painted everything blue where they cut all the rebars, like right here. And then way over here on the left side here, they cut those rebars blue there. You can see on this foreground column and these background columns back here. So wherever there was blue, and then right here on the this was the other more important column. This is space number 27 and column M10. So this is the southernmost border of the building itself right here. Everything back here was all the pool deck. All right, and what you're looking at, this dirt right here was that ramp that NIST built to get their trucks down into the pool area. Okay, so this column, along with this column, was the southernmost border of the building. And even though those columns are the ones that fell, you can see at the bottom, they're still rooted in nicely and coming out vertically. They seem to have really held their ground. All of these did, even though the entire building fell down on top of them. But they are still deeply entrenched into the ground and almost seemingly unaffected down at the earth level here. And by the way, I just wanted to update the label on this one again because, you know, some people call it M9.1, others call it M10. And the difference is really only about 6 inches, but I just wanted to show both on here for those that are in both camps on this one. So I want to just show you on my map of the garage that I've been building over the last few months where we were. So I was standing over here at this point on the upper left, pretty much by space number 114. And I was shooting past this way here and down to here looking this way. So these were the two columns at the end of the ramp that we were talking about. This one here, M8 for space 14, L8 for space 88, and I was showing you this column right here, which is the one that we call M9.1 or M10, and this was the one for space number 27. Okay, now one interesting thing I want to point out here. There was a still shot that I took from the site here of the condo collapse, and one of the things I wanted to point out here is look at column M8, look how great shape he's in. Look at M9.1/M10, and he's in pretty good shape at the bottom too. But look at column M11.1. He's the one that I've been saying since the beginning that instead of punch shearing when the pool deck, which was standing right here, collapsed straight down, I think the pool deck did a little rotational forceage on this guy and maybe twisted him and destroyed him. But notice how out of all of the columns that are still standing anywhere around the entire basement floor, this one just seems to have all of this twisting damage and not much left sticking up. So I thought that was kind of a strange coincidence that once again, the evidence is pointing towards this column, M11.1. Okay, now we're zooming in to the columns that make up the vestibule there and studying the rebar. And you can tell me what you think of the rebar there. Now as they unload from the pickup truck, unloading the cones, you can see the pool is still in great shape. Right there in the center of your screen is the hot tub, and it's still solidly being supported by its supports. It's just everything else that came apart. All right, now look at the wall. Look at the dividing wall between this property and the sidewalk that goes next to the 87 Park condo right there. Look at this part of the wall right there. See, that all likely came down when they started to do the demolition of the part of the building that survived. So this is interesting. Yeah. So right there, they're bringing in, they're setting up a line of cones down that entire end there. And I don't know what that's for. Yeah, I heard that they might be starting to allow some engineers to come in. And so this might be a keep out area for them. I'm not sure. Okay, so here is that street where I reported from originally. If you remember the day of the collapse, I came down here and I was reporting next to the news. All of the fire trucks and emergency equipment were here. There, and they're lifting it up, they're scooping it up and moving. So looking at the scene a block away, and there's the building smoldering in the background there, as you can see. And there's just wall-to-wall media press tents set up everywhere, all the way down the street there, and on both sides of the road too. And all day long, about every 30 seconds, all we see is a constant stream of police cars, emergency vehicles, urban search teams coming through here. They just come by in streams, one after another, folks. It was so amazing. I had no idea that all of the major U.S. news anchors were going to be there. We saw Anderson Cooper interviewing the mayor of Dade County. We saw Lester Holt. I had no idea when I was down there that this was a major national event, that they would all be here. Over here we have David Muir from ABC. So all the bigwigs are here now. There's Shepard Smith. He's doing his live broadcast here from the scene. All of the news crews were like lined up this street here trying to get a view because the rubble pile was right behind that Collins Avenue sign. So there's a police officer there now. I was able to get up to the fence up there and just shoot through the fence so you could see the site and what's going on. But that's pretty much what's happening here. There's only one lane open on Collins Avenue there, see. And everything's blocked off. Within 2 blocks, you can't turn any way this direction. So it's all one-way streets down here. So you have to go one way down Harding south and turn around and come back up north if you want to swing by. But you really can't see anything driving by. All you're going to see is that blue fence up there. See right there at the intersection. And there's cops everywhere. So you can see they're not going to allow you onto the site or pretty much anywhere beyond that fence. You can't even be on that side of it over there. You can sort of be like right at the corner where the police car is, and that's about it. Because they say the ground is too unstable over there.